Hello everyone, Lewis Crompton here, and this is not financial advice. And I want you to stop being good with money. Now hear me out here. And if you do want to hear more about how to do money better, how to make more of it in less time, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and drop into the comment sections. I want to hear from you guys and I'll always respond. Now hear me out about this one when I say I want you to stop being good with money. I think there's a real difference between being good with money and being smart with your money. Big difference there. At any point you want to challenge me or agree with me or just have a go at me in the comments and say something random, feel free to do that. I know people do that all the time. Now, from a young age, I have always been money conscious, money aware. I was told by my parents we couldn't have this or we couldn't have that because we just couldn't afford it. I remember one ski trip at school I couldn't go on because it was too expensive. Now, my parents were not poor, they are not poor. They were both teachers on reasonable salaries, and they were actually very good with their money. They budgeted, they did all of that stuff, they kept track of things, and they didn't overspend, at least from what I could tell. The smartest thing that they probably ever did with their money was to buy a wreck of a house that stank of dog stuff and urine, and then they converted it into a beautiful family home in North London. I think it was originally flats and they brought them together. They didn't spend loads of money doing it up because my dad is somewhat of a DIY expert, as he used to teach design technology, primarily woodwork, before he retired. That was what he did. So a very handy skill set that he had that helps when it comes to renovating a home on the cheap. And I've definitely put him to good use renovating my house. So shout out to my dad who built these cabinets either side of me. Being good with your money will constantly keep you in a place of the status quo. And the problem that we're having right now, this very second, is that status quo is being destroyed by rising inflation, rising cost of living, and just an explosion of rising costs of utility bills, which are destroying the budgets and finances that were previously working for everyday people. Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm a big believer in budgeting, but when all we have is a budget for how to spend money, then we stop ourselves from the possibility of investing our money. Now, when I say investing, what I'm talking about is putting our money somewhere that allows it to generate more money. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not the bank. In some dusty old savings account, which I've moaned about before in previous videos, that is giving you a criminal level of just severely low interest. And I hate it, genuinely hate it, that the bankers are allowed to give such a pathetic interest rate, which actually loses you money every single year, while they take that money and they put it in some form of investment that they're using, which they don't tell you about, which makes them higher percentage returns than they're paying you. Awful. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you are consistently good with your money and not smart with your money, then you'll always be trapped in the same financial position, or it'll be getting worse because of factors out of your control, like utility bills. Now, are you okay with being in the same financial position in 5 years' time? What about 10 years' time? What about just next year? If you started doing something today that would put you in a better financial position and you had an opportunity to do that, would you take it? Genuinely, would you? My hope is that every single person listening would say yes to that. Now, don't go worrying if you think this is about to turn into a sales pitch or something. It is not about to do that. What it is turning into is a warning. And it's a warning because yesterday I was speaking to someone on the phone, and they shared with me how their desire to be in a better financial position left them hungry for opportunity. I love that hunger. Now, somebody else presented them with a way to put their money into a special account, and with them doing absolutely nothing, their account would triple in size in 6 months' time. Does that sound too good to be true to you? It did to me. Well, it does sound too good. It was too good, and they lost over £10,000 as a result of that decision, which I find absolutely gutting for them. Now, I respect them for trying, but they weren't really trying. What they were doing is trying to get something for nothing, and investing does not work like that. Investing will make you rich, but it will take some effort, some learning, some managing of your own emotions, and of this thing here, your own mindset. Sadly, I've heard this kind of story far too many times as I traveled and taught investments around the world. If you want to stop being just good with your money, stop just budgeting. Stop staying within the confines of that budget because otherwise you're just going to always have the same money troubles, the same money worry, say that 3 times, and the same money anxiety. But if you educate yourself, you learn the skill of investing, then you'll change your financial future for the better. And if you want to get to the point where you don't need to worry about money, investing is what you will need to do. Okay, so let's blend for a second that good and the smart here, and we'll look at what it means to budget properly. And if you budget, you need to be allowing space in that budget for investing, even if it's just £100 per month. That is better than nothing if you invest it wisely and it compounds over time. And if you already have some money saved up, then think about what could you do with that money? It may be worth considering investing into some form of financial education or some form of cash flowing asset that you can use for the rest of your life if you have enough saved up for purchasing an asset like that. The first step to being smart with your money is to understand, honestly, where you're at right this second. And when I speak to people about their financial situation, I'm always quite shocked by how many people do not know their simple numbers. And I mean their numbers. It's personal to each of us. And here is what I want you to do. I want you to grab a pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet, whatever works for you. I personally love an Excel spreadsheet when it comes to money because it can do all the calculations for me. I'm not the best with math. And I want you to write down how much money you have coming in each month. That may be from your job, from investments, some other form of source of income, something like that. I don't know how it is you make your money. Now, if you run a business, then the number I want you to put down is not revenue, but the money you actually pay yourself from that business each month. So the actual profit that you make that you then pay yourself. And make sure you then take tax off of that as well, just to know how much money you're actually left with at the end of each month. Now I want you to write down all the expenses you have that come out every single month. Itemize them. Get really clear on them. Why is it you need that one? So write down all your groceries, how much you tend to spend on them, your phone bill, your rent, your mortgage, whatever it is, your haircuts, everything, all of your subscription. Which reminds me, make sure you subscribe to this channel, although this one is free. Now, total up all of those expenses. What do you have left over for the 2 most important things in your life? Now, the 2 things I hear you ask, what are they? What are these 2 things? What are the most important things in life? For me, fun and investments. Now, what we have also done here is we've identified the goal of what you need to be earning from your investments to make it so that the job doesn't have power or ownership over you. Brilliant. We've now got that figure dialed in. You see, what we do when we get clear on our money is it allows us to view what needs to be done. Then we know what we need to do and we can take action on what it is. We may know we need to get some form of education in order to be smart and not just good with our money. Now, this is what this channel is dedicated to doing. It's dedicated to helping you be smart with your money. So make sure that you share this video with someone it can help or it can inspire. Like the video, subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments if this video was helpful for you. Let's be smart with our money, not just good with it. My name is Lewis Crompton, and this is not financial advice.